So let me tell you a story about Jimmy. Jimmy seems like an ordinary bloke. He likes to take his time doing groceries in the supermarket. He welcomes new neighbors in the area and enjoys gardening in his spare time. However, in the supermarket he mostly uses Yoker as his payment method, while the cashier only accepts double barrels. Brings handmade shells instead of a nice black and white kijk to his neighbors and uses weak stone tools for his chores. What bothers Jimmy the most is the fact that he never has nice things, while all his neighbors can always afford the most luxurious items. If only Jimmy knew where all these people get the scrap for this stuff. That is where I come in. After testing out many monuments, I have finally found the best one that there currently is for getting scrap and progression: Underwater Labs. It has been my favorite monument for a while now, and after comparing to the other monuments, I can finally tell you why. As you know, labs are randomly generated. So I have tested these 3 underwater labs on my server and came down to 40 crates and scientists in one monument on average, with blue and red keycards and 26 without. This is excluding 5 ammo crates and oil crates or barrels, which also give you 140 crude oil extra on average. The loot in the monument, including the card rooms, can respawn while you are in it, so be always sure to double check the starting rooms after you have finished clearing everything. By using my typical value per crate method, I came down to an average scrap value of 2,234 per run with cards and 1,236 without cards. The time it took me to clear the monument while using a Thompson was 11.5 minutes with and 9.5 minutes without cards. Of course, if you need to slap some kids during the process, the time could vary. If you compare it to my previous videos, this is better than any other monument that I have ever tested, and even twice as good as most of the monuments if you have keycards. What is also important to mention is that there is a 40% chance to get a tier 2 or tier 3 weapon or a C4 from elite crates in the red rooms. Now, let me give you some tips on how you can make sure to have an advantage on your opponents. If you're swimming with the diving gear, make sure to take a tool and diving fins in case you run into another diver and want to transfer his loot into your inventory. You can also take a spear gun, but I personally do not do that as a solo because of the lack of inventory space. When you are descending next to the lab, you can take your diving tank off as soon as you hear this sound. Let the oxygen run down to 1 second and put it back on. Repeat this continuously and the chance of people hearing you come in will be way lower. Take a hazmat suit, put it into your hotbar, and put it on as you are entering the lab. If you hear dwellers upstairs and don't want them to ambush you, you can always make a few shots to alert them and shoot them from downstairs, or just toss a few grenades up there. This also works for players. Don't forget that there is always a green card lying next to the computer station, so grab that if you need it. Lastly, if climate change has made you super sweaty, you can always go immortal by bringing a heavy suit with incendiary spas shotgun and just wait upstairs for some company. Well, now the only thing you will need to worry about is how to transport this loot and where to recycle these boxes of components. Good luck and see you around.